Testing and purity is what I want to talk about next. It's so important that your essential oil is pure. It's an important characteristic of an essential oil, of a pure essential oil. Purity means the oil doesn't have anything in it that it's not supposed to have in it. And you can maintain this through testing. You can watch the production of the essential oil. If it has any impurities, it's rejected. A good essential oil company would reject any essential oils with impurities in it and only allow the ones that are pure to be then sold to consumers. Purity means that it's free from fillers, pesticides, solvents, additives. Also means that it contains only the essential oils produced by the plant that they purport to be from, and that the compounds in the plant in the essential oil mixture are in the right percentages. If an essential oil is pure, you are more likely to have the therapeutic value that you're looking for, assuming it's been properly obtained from a therapeutic source. Sometimes it can be pure, not necessarily therapeutic. If essential oil is not pure, however, you may not receive that therapeutic benefit you bought the essential oil for. And moreover, there is a chance that if it's not pure, especially if it's produced synthetically in a lab or carelessly supplied from careless growers, it may even be potentially toxic. For instance, if it has a big buildup of pesticides in it, which can happen. So this is our definition here that we're going to use in these video series. Purity means it's free from fillers, pesticides, solvents, additives, and is natural and not synthetic. Impure means that it has other stuff in there and it's not the way that nature made it. So these essential oils may look or even smell the same. You have pure and natural. So that's where testing comes in. We test to ensure that it is pure. And even though it may smell the same, or even though you may not be able to smell any difference, the therapeutic value and the way those chemicals and molecules are happening inside your body will be different. Okay, so to give you an example of an essential oil that's made in a lab, these chemicals are put together in order in trace amounts. These ingredients remain in the final solution. So this is a synthetic production of methyl salicyate, which is found in wintergreen essential oil. But you can also make it in a lab. So if you take phenol, which is a very strong acid, you mix it with carbon dioxide and sodium hydroxide, which is very caustic, and then that comes up with a new compound. You add hydrosulfuric acid to that, which is a very dangerous chemical, and then you add methanol, which is very poisonous, and you come up with methyl salicyate, which is very therapeutic. However, it does contain traces of all these poisons and acids that were mixed together to come up with that essential oil. So there also may be, assisting catalysts or solvents that you used in the process as well that might end up in trace amounts in the final batch, right? So many of these ingredients are so dangerous that the scientists that are mixing the solutions, or the workers, they've got to wear heavy protective clothing and sometimes work under a fume hood. One breath of these sorts of things are enough to cause a lot of damage. These compounds are very inexpensive to produce in a laboratory. Sometimes it's even cheaper to produce the chemicals this way than it is to produce waters, because we have regulations and stuff for water. Thus, synthetically produced essential oil compounds are widely used because they're inexpensive, they can be produced in mass, and they're found in a lot of things. So most of the essential oils out there are synthetically produced. They don't come from plants. Now, laboratory synthesis compared to a natural synthesis in a plant, there are lots of differences, and we're going to go through a few. First of all, I just want to point out that the molecule itself is exactly the same. On a atomic level, the molecule is exactly the same. we'll talk about, you know, a potential difference next. But when you produce it in a lab, sometimes you'll have these adulterations, these trace amounts of those poisons and the acids. Whereas when it's produced in a plant, nature produces this on a cellular level through DNA instructions with the assistance of assisting proteins, ribonucleic acids, and all of those work together to produce these essential oils inside the cell. The mitochondria, all that cellular activity works together in this process. Although the end molecule, in the case, you know, it's the same, there are not going to be any harmful additives if you get your essential oil from a plant, because a plant doesn't use them in the process. They actually use proteins and everything, which are not found in essential oils anyways, because they don't make it through the distillation process. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.